We are at FMCA in Gillette, Wyoming. This has been a great experience for me, and I'm lucky enough to meet the new president and the CEO of FMCA. And normally our videos we're just traveling around, we're climbing on volcanoes and hanging out at waterfalls in Mexico, or strolling through, Yellowstone Park. We're trying to share just our adventure. But we gain a lot of benefit, actually, from FMCA. My girlfriend, Jonna, who's behind the camera, actually got it just for the internet. And then we started discovering all these other things about it. So I wanted to talk to you guys because I think some of our audience is probably a little younger and they don't know what the benefits are of FMCA. So this is Rett, he's the president. Chris Smith, he is the CEO, and I want to cover some of the things. So where did FMCA get started?
Well, it got started back over 50 years ago. A group got together up in, was that Maine?
Maine.
And they put together saying, hey, we need to start something where we all operate as a family out here and having get-togethers so we can have fun. I mean, just enjoy being out. And that's what we started, and it just kept growing from that. We actually have an office, and currently we have how many employees now, Chris?
36.
36 employees, and we're there in Cincinnati, Ohio, there where we have our
I just went through there.
Yeah, well, and we have a campground near there that actually has set up so that you can stay. Our members get to stay there 2 free nights a month, and it's a great time for them to be there. And if they do stay over, I think, what do we charge? $20 a night, is it, or
30 for full hookup?
30
for electric only. Yep.
I also, before I get too far into this, there was a thing here with the Elks Club, so that you could have actually become an Elks Club member. I have this perception of all these things being for old people, but I'm 56, but still. Yeah. There's a lot of benefits to this, and there are Elks Clubs all over the U.S., and how does that work?
Well, we have a chapter that is, our chapter is Elks, and they set up and work with us. In fact, I came in early. We had what they called a tri-chapter event where the Elks, the military chapter, because we have military as well, and we also have a couple of chapters of military. One is our military was for veterans, and then we also have a SMART chapter that just got started, and that's for the military. And then the other group is the full-timers. And those 3 groups, the Elks, the military, and the full-timers, got together and said, we need to meet together and hold our rallies together. And they do it as coming into our conventions. So they were here at events, and we actually had meals over there at the Elks Lodge. So, yeah, it's a great organization for that alone, but there are all sorts of organizations. There are people who, if they have in fact, we're talking about starting some more that are for people who like pickleball. There's ones, we have chapters, though, that are out there right now that do quilting, which some people like quilting. We do that. There are other chapters that they do events that make them happy, So, and we gather all over the country. It doesn't have to be necessarily in our chapters meet. And
this is a semi-annual event. Is it? It happens twice a year, and it's just different areas.
Well, right now we're going. We were here this time. We'll be in Tucson in March.
Okay.
And then we're going to be in. After that, we're Perry. Are we back in Perry? No. We're in Lincoln, Nebraska. We've never been to Lincoln, Nebraska, but we're going to go, and that's going to be our first time there. And then after Lincoln, Nebraska, we go, what's our next one after
Perry,
that?
Georgia.
We'll be back to Perry.
And then back here in Gillette.
Okay, awesome. So I think one of the greatest benefits that I've seen here is that you can get stuff done. So if you're younger, because, like I said, we're in parks all the time, and I meet a lot of younger people that actually, the older folks are not really the majority in some of these RV parks. And I don't think people realize some of the stuff they can get done. It is super hard to get an RV place to work on your rig, especially Camping World. Don't get me started on that. But we came here, and it's just like right off the bat, some guy comes up behind our rig, and he's checking out our it was the Roadmaster guys. They fixed our
check
stuff.
The tow bars every time we have a convention. They go through and
yeah,
check the
and
Roadmaster tow
they
bars.
fixed our brakes. Our brakes weren't functioning properly. They fixed that stuff. The awning guys are just going around. So it's just all these different things. The Rev guys came and inspected our rig. It's just amazing how much stuff you can get done, and your rig not end up in the black hole of nothingness for 6 months, where you take it to an RV place and it's just stuck there for God knows how long.
Well, and then we
to
have,
fix some blinds,
yeah.
you know.
Well, and then we have vendors here who can sell everything that you thought you really might need. Mm-hmm. They've got it. They're going to have the stuff in there, whether it's clothing or whether it's stuff to treat your tanks or whatever.
Yeah,
products in there.
We had our tanks clean. Had our tanks clean too.
if you want signs made,
yep.
and to put on your rig, you can get the signs made here. Whatever.
Driving school.
Oh yeah, driving school. Jonna took driving school. Now
you took it.
Now she's comfortable. Yeah.
Yeah, and our RV Basics is getting a really good name out there for. We need people. Whole thing about FMCA is it's education.
Right.
We'd like to make sure our people are informed on what's going on, and there are sites that you can go on to. We have technical advisors who monitor the sites. They can ask questions about their rig, whether it's for a towing issue or whether it's an engine issue or whatever. They can ask, and usually somebody will respond to them on there. Right. So actually, it's great to go to FMCA.com.
Chris, being you're the CEO, so you probably have a little bit more info on this. What are the benefits of FMCA? Say if somebody wants to join, like, can you run down some of the major benefits of what people are actually going to receive from a membership?
Yeah, kind of our flagship benefits, FMCA Assist, and it's not a medical policy, but it is a policy that helps you if you do have a medical issue and you have to be transported somewhere. That alone is well worth the dues. I mean, the cheapest you'll find a policy like that's $250 on up. Right. So that's kind of our flagship benefit. We have a magazine that's the best in the RV industry. You get 12 issues per month. It kind of touches on what Rett said. If you need, it covers kind of the whole world of RVing, right? The technical stuff, the lifestyle stuff, information about FMCA in general. Your girlfriend here said Sprint MiFi is a perfect example. Tire program. The education side, we have the basics, the driving. We have FMCA University online, where people can go on if they're a member and have access. Any question you have, we have an answer for you. It's right there at your fingertips, free with the membership.
And some of the savings, I know she saved on her Sprint. She actually that alone said was worth the membership as well. Can you talk about some of the other things where people are going to? There's power in numbers, of course. So you guys obviously are getting discounts on different things.
Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, and you said power in numbers, and we're wanting to grow. We have right now just under 75,000 RVs in our organization. That's about 150, 160,000 people. But we want to get much larger than that because we're just scratching the surface. And we want to get younger people in, and we want to have programs and we want to hear from people out there, programs that they would like to have, like homeschooling, if they're doing that, or if we're having kids, we want to build up kids coming to our events again. We used to have as many as 200 kids coming to enjoy the events.
Yeah,
and we'd gotten away from that, and we're going back. So we want to come back.
I think like over the last 18 months or 2 years, however long this nightmare's been going on, there's been a lot more younger people getting into RVing, and
they're out there on the road. They found out they can work out of their RVs. That's their home now. They can work from home, and those are the people
you guys
we'd
definitely
like to
capture. There should have been a good digital nomad seminar here. I don't know if there was one or not, but that should be something that you guys should really take advantage of, is digital nomad.
Well, and we've gotten suggestions, like we're going to get some more stuff on YouTube and things like that. We're going to try to reach out to the people who do the podcast a lot,
Right.
just like you're doing,
Yeah.
and we want to reach those people and say, hey, we're here. We're not expensive. People don't realize to be a member of FMCA, it's $50 a year to be a member. And
that's pretty good.
That's
and,
a year, and
and
that includes
it's
that program.
non-profit. So where do the profits go? Or
Well,
just back into the savings
and the operation, like I say, we have
Right.
an office there in Cincinnati that we do have people who are there to answer the calls and reach out to our people, but we want to take care of our members. And that's what those people there, that staff is for, is to take care of our membership. Because
Right.
this is member-based.
I know something was mentioned to me about tires. There's discounts on tires and all these other things, plus the connection to the proper place to go and get your rig surfaced and stuff like that. All of that information is on the FMCA website?
Right. The
Okay.
FMCA website has the information there and how you can join. You can go on there and actually join online. You don't have to find an application in a magazine or something.
This is my first one.
Yeah,
I don't even
mine
know what
too.
they call it.
So we're both first timers here. And one of the great things that I didn't expect was to find such great service here and great products. And the service that we experienced earlier with Roadmaster was great. But this this is one of the problems that we have constantly is internet. And so if you're a full-timer or just an RVer who wants to go out on the road and use internet, I think this guy may have a solution for you. So it's Insty. What is your name, by the way? Say Nick?
Nick, yes.
Nick Jolin.
Nick Jolin, yes.
Nick Jolin.
With Insty Connect.
So Insty Connect, this is basically a router that you can just mount your various SIM cards in. It doesn't work. I heard you saying something about it not working with Cricket, but it would work with
Right.
just the main carriers.
So typically your main carriers like Verizon, AT&T, T-Mobile, things like that, when you have a SIM with like a hotspot, you can take it out, put it in the Insty Connect, pop it in the wings, put it up there, and it works just fine.
Right.
A lot of third-party carriers like Visible work fine. It's just Cricket came out recently and said, we don't want you to use them in anything but this phone, this phone, this phone. And so if they see that you are, then I don't know how they let you know or something like that. But
Right. So this is the modem, and this is a 3D printed modem, and actually the device that the modem connects to, it's right here, is also, and here. These are all 3D printed products, which is super interesting. If they break, you might be able to get the file and reprint it yourself.
I don't do that. No, I'm sorry. Sorry.
Is the file not online?
No, I designed these. These are all
Oh,
designed.
so the files are not available.
That's right. Yes,
Oh,
yes.
I see.
The way, okay, so
Closed source, huh?
closed source in a way, but these are watertight, right?
Mhm.
So 3D printing watertight stuff is tough.
Okay.
So
yeah.
in order to get it right, you have to have your settings right. So if
Right.
I give you the file and you print it wrong and water gets in there, hey, then I'm in trouble.
Oh, I
right?
see.
So I print the stuff. This one too, I print at specific temperatures to make it strong. And I also put, steel in there to make it strong along the Z-axis.
Oh, okay.
So there's a lot of things, a lot of thought that went into these things to make it so that they don't either fly off your roof
Right.
or get water.
And so the modem exists outside of your RV and not inside the RV, right? So you put you can have this inside or outside,
Right.
but for the best results, you want it outside.
So we tell people, I say the only thing that you can control is the signal that you get. So your signal is going to directly be proportionate to the speed that you're getting.
Right.
So if you have your MiFi device or if you have the wings or something and you stick it in your coach or you stick it in your metal van, you're killing your signal.
Right.
But if you take the time, install it on the roof, put it on a flagpole, whatever you want, you're going to get the best signal you can get, which normally equates into better speed.
Right. I talked to another guy over here that had a similar product, but his chips you could only get chips from him. And for me, that's not very good because I'm constantly on the move. And just because he said that, oh yeah, I will send it to you right away. What if he doesn't? Then I'm completely out. I like this that I can just go and get a new chip from any carrier and have service right away. How hard is it for me to go into your app or whatever and put my chip into this and activate it?
So it's super simple. So if you have the modem, so if you're going to switch a SIM, you would unplug it. You would take out an old SIM or you add a second SIM to it. And as soon as you plug it back in, it's going to go through its reboot process. And on the screen, right there towards the top, it'll say new SIM card found. You click in there, you put a name for it. Like I named yours Danny,
Right.
and then you select the provider. And so I wanted to make it so that you can use just about any provider, because I know that it's not just people who've got tons of money who are on the road. There are people that are on a budget or whatever. They already have the plans that they're using.
Earlier I did do this. I actually took the SIM card out of my tablet that I use as a hotspot, and we plugged it in here. It took like maybe 8 or 10 minutes for it to boot up, and I was able to stream here. And with 15,000 other rigs here on site, that's pretty good. So, and the device costs how much?
It's $550 for the 4G model. The 5G model we're still working on, but we hope to release it within about a month or a month and a half or so. That one's going to run about $199-ish, right around that area. But it'll be a very similar design. The wings will be fatter. We call them the mega wings because they'll have 4 antennas in there because it'll do 4 times MIMO, and it's a Category 20 modem. I can do 7 times carrier aggregation. So it's like, it's a 4G modem and a 5G modem. It can do 4G really, really well, and 5G really well too.
And the ears, there's an additional device that you attach to this for better reach.
So we call it the binoculars. All right, so I meet different levels of people. There are people that really need an internet connection, and people are just like, I'm cool if I have one.
I'm off grid. I'm ready to bug out. So
all right. So there's people like me who will be out there all day long trying to find a signal, right? So that's why I made those binoculars. So what on those is, I believe we're the only company that takes a modem and puts it in near the antenna. So this one is an omnidirectional, so you don't have to move it around.
Right.
Now that one is a directional. So you take the modem out of here, you slide it in that one, and then you point it in the direction of the tower, because, like I said, they're like binoculars, right? So you're looking for it, you point it in the direction, and it gets just really, really good speeds when you're out in the fringe. So we have a video that it's on the TV right now, but we're going to be releasing it.
And your YouTube channel is where we can see it?
It's called We Can Explore It. We Can Explore It. Awesome. So we're going to release that one about the binoculars. It's us at Badlands in Sage Creek Campground, pretty far from the interstate. The phone's got nothing. The wings got 15 down, 1 up, and the binoculars got 50 down and 10 up.
Oh.
So you can get some incredible speeds. The most speeds I've ever gotten from a cell tower was through those binoculars, because it's like you're pointing a beam right at the tower, and the tower sees you and it says, "I really like this guy."
So the main Wii Boost, the newest Wii Boost with the black antenna, those are going to be better for that than that, right?
So a Wii Boost is totally different, right? Because it brings the signal out and puts it back out. What this does is, I said, we're going to skip all that, because if I can put the modem next to the antenna and I can grab that signal, I can put it out.
There's no need to reboost.
Right, I can put it out as Wi-Fi. Just about every phone out there can do Wi-Fi calling. So when I was in Sage Creek, I pumped up the Wi-Fi, and I could be out in the whole campground, and I can reach my Wi-Fi because nobody else was there, right?
Right.
And I can make a call. I mean, it'd be like having a massive booster, because you're bringing it in, you're sending it out via Wi-Fi. You don't have to worry about it. Cycling back or feedback and all that kind of stuff.
And your team consists of your family?
All right, so my family is basically the ones that... Yeah,
we're looking at the team.
This is part of the team here. We got some other people that are
helping us. I see the lead developer
back
there.
Yeah, he's one of our lead testers. That's
the lead Wi-Fi user?
Pretty much.
This one over here on the right is the movie star from the video.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, you'll see them in the videos. The boys really like to do the cameos and all of that. But I like to train them in on different things. Like Natalie would be building modems, right? So these pieces have lots of very intricate stuff inside them. She puts them together. She does a fantastic job with them. My other daughter...
you guys are assembling all the hardware?
Yeah, she's doing it. So my older daughters definitely help out,
and then this is just a kind of an off-the-shelf...
It's a sourced sourced router that we get from China,
Okay.
But we put our special software on it. So when it comes to us, we put the firmware on each one.
That way it doesn't have a China virus.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yes. It's corona-free.
Awesome. And so what's the website? How can someone find out about this? Because we're going to get one.
InstyConnect.com, INSTY Connect.com.
All right, and that's not to be. What's the name of that company that has the vapors that smell Insty or what? No, it's not Insty. It's Etsy.
Etsy. Oh, you're
There
thinking
you
Etsy.
go.
No, it's not Etsy.
It's not Etsy. It's
Nope.
Insty.
We sell them
InstyConnects.com.
exclusively on InstyConnect.com.
Awesome. All right, and what can I expect for shipping?
We ship via UPS, and typically takes 2 to 3 days when we are in stock. So this whole year, up until about a month ago, we could not keep these in stock. So we finally got a giant shipment. We have some in stock. So if you order within a few days of watching this video,
So we order it today, we can go ahead and pick it up in Box Elder when we get there.
yes, it should be there in a few days.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, Nick, and I appreciate it.
Thank you, Danny.
We're in
Appreciate it.
Wyoming, and this is Misty with Roadmaster, and I was super impressed with you guys' service. We had our stuff serviced, and this is our first time to the FMCA rally, and I didn't realize what a good reason it was to come. But one day this guy's just walking right behind our RV, and then he comes over and says, hey, this and this is wrong with your towing system. I'm like, oh, okay. So he says, come on over and we'll fix it for free. And your guys just fixed it right up, took care of our braking system and everything else. Tell me about, whose idea was this for you guys to just come to FMCA, and how long have you been doing it?
So Roadmaster is committed to customer service, and so many customers I hear time and time again, they put their tow bar on and then they don't think about it again.
Right.
And so we noticed that there were some issues with some of the tow bars. People had them for 20 years. That's
Yeah.
a long time for a tow bar to be on the road.
Yeah.
And so we started going around and doing this service. And so the guys will go out there and they'll inspect everything. They'll clean it all up there, if it can be cleaned up there. If they notice something that's wrong with it or a little bit out of whack, Todd's been with Roadmaster since Roadmaster started. And when you bring in your tow bar, it all goes through Todd, so he's seen them all. He's seen everything you could possibly think of with a tow bar. And so he'll know exactly what we need to do to go through it. Sometimes we can clean them up. Sometimes they need some major parts. And other times it's time for a new tow bar. So we're here to provide that service, along with we bring a semi-truck full of parts, and we can sell new products to customers.
Right. What all products do you guys sell? Because our Jeep has your Invisalign brake system, your Invisibrake, and of course the Roadmaster tow bar. What other products do you guys provide?
So we do the tow bars. We have a range of tow bars from entry level to the deluxe. We have supplemental brake systems. So we have 3 different kinds of brake systems. A portable brake system for people that are switching between cars. A more permanent installed brake system so that you don't have to do anything. You just plug and go. And then the Brakemaster that's been out for more than 20 years. Wonderful tried and true system. We also offer that. We can do the wiring. We do rock protection. So if you want to prevent the front of your
Right.
vehicle from getting damaged, we have a hard plastic shield, the rock guard, and we also have a mesh screen that goes between the 2 vehicles. In addition to that, we have sway bars on our truck. So especially if you have a Ford chassis,
right.
they're known for having sway issues, and we have a lot of solutions to help correct for that.
Oh, for people that are towing trailers and stuff like
No,
that?
just on the motorhome itself.
Oh, on the Ford motorhomes. Like
The diesels are pretty hefty to
Right.
begin with, but a lot of the gas motorhomes need some reinforcements.
Yeah.
So we have a front sway bar, a rear sway bar, and a steering stabilizer in most cases. And so we can do that as well.
Well, Jonna and I, we're full-time, so we're constantly needing things done, and it's a challenge on the road. We spend some time in Havasu, we're down in Mexico, we're all over the place, and it's a challenge to get things fixed. Even though they've got a brick and mortar place there and probably just as much staff as you do, but you guys are like taking care of, there's 1,500 motorhomes here, right at 12 to 1,500 motorhomes on this place, and you guys are servicing everybody and getting it done in amazing time. Well, what is the problem that like brick and mortar stores that are having? Why can't they keep up with me?
I'm not sure, but I know the crew that we bring to these shows are like the best of the best.
Yeah.
We have the people, our install guys over there have been doing it so long,
Yeah.
and they do so much of it. So again,
Yeah, I see the guy rebuilt ours. It was like 5 minutes, and boom, boom. He just totally disassembled it, put all the new bushings in, and
not his
oiled
first,
it.
Not his first rodeo.
Yeah,
I'm just
for sure.
saying.
Yeah.
He's done all of those tow bars you see over there.
And he did the sales. He was actually the guy that came to our trailer, to our motorhome and fixed that. So
Yeah.
I think that's a great thing. I don't know why there's not younger people here. I think I'm like the youngest guy at this whole rally, you know, and I'm 56. But
Well, this last year, we've seen a change in the demographic. A
Yeah.
lot of people were homeschooling their kids, and so they're getting in their motorhomes and they're having
Right.
their kids see the country. And
lockdowns, people are sick of lockdowns,
Yeah.
and then
so
they're
it's changing a little
yeah,
bit.
yeah,
in
it's
that-
great for
in
that.
respect, yeah. And we do the spring FMCA rally, the big one, and then the summer one, this one.
Right.
And then we do Indio and Quartzsite as well.
Oh,
So-
cool. So, Roadmaster is just one of the companies that's here doing this. There's multiple other companies with all the other types of things to get fixed. So definitely come to some of these rallies. Which one is the Quartzsite? Is that the Escapees or?
It's its own little show, Quartzsite,
Okay.
Arizona. It's kind of one of the Field of Dreams. If you build it, they will come. It's in the middle of the desert.
Yeah,
But
yeah, it
there
definitely
are
is.
a ton of people that come to it. So
Awesome.
it's a busy show.
Maybe hit Havasu too. There's a bunch of
Yeah.
us in Havasu, and we can't get any service during the spring. So, one more reason to come and check this stuff out. It's not just for old folks.
Exactly. Yep.
All right. And the wonderful time that we had at the FMCA, I was able to talk to quite a few people, the president, Roadmasters, Insty Connect, all these other guys with some great items. And I learned a lot about the FMCA that I really didn't know. And there's a lot of benefits. And I want to talk to someone else today. I've traveled from the FMCA down to Box Elder, South Dakota, and I've met up with the America's Mailbox people who have some great things to offer for people. If you're a full-timer or if you're just a digital nomad traveling around, I think this is some great information for you, and you should definitely check into it. We're talking with the owner of the Mailbox.
Yep, Don Humes.
Don Humes. So Don, tell me about some of the services that people can get from America's Mailbox, and why would I want to use America's Mailbox?
Well, Danny, what we do here at America's Mailbox, since we're a very unique company, there's no other company in the country that's either like us or our size or for many other reasons. Our core purpose is that of mail forwarding. And while that doesn't sound very exciting to a lot of people, until they stop to think about it, everybody has to have an address. You know, they think, well, I do everything online and so on. But the IRS, for example, doesn't send out emails saying you owe us money. So everybody has to have an address to get mail. They also have to have an address to do things like get a driver's license, register their vehicles, register to vote, open up bank accounts, all those things. And we're the only company in the country that does all those things. We're, like I said, we're one of the largest companies of this sort in the country, maybe even the world. I don't know. I haven't gone beyond the scope of the United States. I started this company about 19 years ago. And we grew from, where I was the only customer to now, like I said, we do many thousands of people of all different kinds of professions. That could be RVers, whether full-time or part-time. It could be military. It could be truck drivers, traveling nurses, traveling doctors, digital nomads, people that deal with crypto, anything like that. In fact, for crypto, it comes in really handy because if they're expats. The IRS ruling is that if they can stay outside the United States, which a lot of our customers do, for 35 days a year, the first $108,000 is tax free. Awesome. So that makes a very good benefit. But you still have to have an address in South Dakota, and South Dakota is the best state. When I first started this company, I looked at all the differences of the states, and for practicality purposes, we're going to keep it down to three. The three best states that people typically choose are going to be Florida, Texas, and South Dakota. And the reason why those three states are under good consideration, and they're good states, is there's no state income tax. And unfortunately, that's where people stop looking. There's much more to it than that. For example, if they want to buy a vehicle, the sales tax in Florida, depending upon what county you're in, but I'll take Hillsborough County, that's where Lazy Days is located. A lot of people buy their RVs at Lazy Days. I believe that's around 8.5%, which is quite a bit when you drop down a couple $100,000 out of vehicle.
Texas is the same, 8.25.
It has a little different depending on county, but also Texas does vehicle inspections, every vehicle, every year. Unfortunately, if you got two vehicles and one comes, a vehicle inspection in January and the other one's in July, that's
Right.
when you're supposed to do your vehicle inspections. Another thing with Florida is that your insurance, they're like the fifth highest state in the country for vehicle insurance, according to Insurance Information Institute. And people can look it up themselves. It's simply iii.org. And they're very, very high. Last time I checked, Texas was ranked as the 15th highest state in the country on vehicle insurance. South Dakota, which, like Florida and Texas, which has no state income tax, which is very important, is ranked as typically around the 48th least expensive state in the country for vehicle insurance. And the tax that they have on vehicles here, they call it excise tax, but I'll tell your viewers, it's not the same thing as excise tax in a lot of other states. A lot of other states have excise tax where they pay on this thing year after year after year. It's the gift that just keeps on giving. In South Dakota, they call it excise tax, but really it's a one-time thing, and it's 4%, versus Florida 8.5%, versus Texas ranging between 6.5% and higher than that. And of course, the insurance. People that register their vehicles here in South Dakota, and we have our own insurance agency here, by the way. We have our own insurance agency embedded right within our company. We do everything here. They tell us that their insurance rates compared to Florida, they typically pay about a third of what they pay in Florida and about a half in Texas. In addition to America's Mailbox, as I said, we have our own insurance agency embedded right within the company here. We have our own vehicle registration department. Right now we're doing, I would guess around 18 to 20,000 vehicle registrations a year out of my address here. I've got a staff of between 8 and 9 people. That's all they do is vehicle registrations. They live and breathe this stuff. They're very good at it.
Right. I'm going to be getting mine done here too. I'm transferring mine from Texas actually while I'm here. So, this has been interesting. My better half has been telling me about this service. She's been a member of this service for a couple of years now, and she really loves it. What about like Canada and Mexico? A lot of U.S. expats are in, let's say, the Ajijic area, because that's like the biggest expat community.
Sure.
Do you guys have a lot of customers out of that area?
Oh, absolutely. We have customers all over the world. Right now, we even have a customer down in Antarctica.
So it must be hard to get his mail to it.
Actually, no, the U.S. Postal Service.
Right.
No, we ship mail all over the world. And the important thing is we also ship medication. And very, very few companies do that. We're certified by the Postal Service. A lot of people say, well, gee, Don, is it legal?
Right.
Absolutely. The state of South Dakota, has sent us business. They go to the DMV down the street and they need an address. They said, go down the street to America's Mailbox. Right. We also have a campground here. And we have a hotel right here on premises.
I thought that was pretty funny. I'll do actually another video of this and do some drone video. But if I were to look at this place from above, there's maybe 40 or 50 RVs here total, and 16,000 people live here. Is that what's the? About
18,000.
So you guys have 18,000 people
about that,
that are used to this. So all have this same address, but if you come here, there's not that many.
Well,
I just think that was quite funny. So.
And we're growing quite well. I mean, we've got 2 campgrounds in the back. If somebody were to look on Google Earth, they would see a blank lot across the street from us on America's Way, which is we named the street. And that's what we did.
Right.
I own that property as well, and we'd have a campground on it now, except our contractor said because there's a shortage of good staff that he couldn't do it until September, October.
Right.
So we just had to postpone it till around April or May of 2022 now. But when it's all said and done, we'll have around 150 to 200 sites here.
Awesome. I meet a lot of RVers, and Montana seems to be another place where people go to get license plates and stuff like that. And I've gone to a lot of conferences in Wyoming regarding tech, because I work with crypto. And Wyoming seems to be very friendly. So you've got kind of a tri-state area here of people that are friendly to business and freedom. What are the differences between getting my plates here and Montana?
Well, a couple of things, Danny. First off, understand that I'm not from South Dakota. I grew up in Chicago.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Well,
I'm just
oddly
kidding.
enough, I get that a lot. I was a full-time RVer myself. I don't care where I build my company. I'm going to build it in the best possible location for my customers. I looked at all the states, and it didn't take me long to understand that every state, including South Dakota, but every state has their hand in your pocket in some way. So what you got to do is look at the whole picture, not just this thing or that thing. Some states don't have a state income tax, some don't, this. But you look at the whole picture. When I did my spreadsheet analysis, South Dakota beat every state. And then I started looking at the differences in the counties, and Pennington County, which is where we're located, we're in Box Elder. Rapid City's across the street. I mean, we're like a suburb of Rapid City. In fact, when I started the company, it was in Rapid City on Main Street. We were going right out of that location. But once you get past that point where everybody's got their hand in your pocket, the best you can do is minimize the hurt. You're never going to eliminate the hurt. Now, to answer your question about Montana, I was building up to that. If Montana was a better state, I would have done it. Montana used to be a good state, just like Washington used to be a good state, and Oregon used to be a good state. They got greedy with taxes. So say, for example, in Montana, the way a lot of people do it is they open up an LLC, a limited liability corporation. Of course, that has expenses. There's a couple of law firms, that do that specifically for RVers and some other type of clients there in Montana, and they do a wonderful job. But there is a cost involved. You're dealing with attorneys. And having a corporation, this is something that needs to be maintained every year. So it's, to set up an LLC in Montana, the last time I checked through a law firm, which I personally would recommend because there's a couple other companies that do it for like $99. You get what you pay for, in my opinion. We all heard that expression. But a law firm will run you around $1,500, $1,800. And again, you get what you pay for. And of course, it needs to be maintained every year. So papers need to be filed. Your insurance is going to be a little bit more expensive, not that big of a deal. Like I said, South Dakota is about 48th cheapest. They're about 45th. It's not that big a deal. What Montana has done lately, though, for the last few years, is they have instituted a luxury tax. And last I heard, and I haven't stayed on top of this as I could have, but last I heard, this luxury tax was being applied. It was like $850, and don't hold me to it there. I heard it was $850 on Class A motorhomes, and because the way the rules are written, for some reason fifth wheels or trailers weren't included, but they were working to change that. They may already have that. So.
Maybe.
Yeah, well, it's all about the money, Danny. It's always about the money. Follow the money. On top of that, you can't use that address to register to vote. You can't get a driver's license at that address. That's for LLC to get register your vehicles. Another problem with that is people have found out that while not impossible, it is challenging. It is difficult to have a note to guys like go to a bank or a savings loan or a credit union, whatever, to get a loan to buy a vehicle, because the banking crisis a number of years ago, a lot of banks got held, were holding the bag, because you buy a Class A motorhome for $500,000 or whatever, you now own a greatly depreciating asset. It depreciates every week, sitting out in the driveway or rolling down the road. It's not like a house or a building. So what happens is that during the last recession that the government says we're no longer in anymore, the bank they'd stop getting their money, so they go to get this vehicle, and now instead of instead of being worth $500,000, now it's worth $200,000. The person's upside down on it. They just walk away. So a lot of banks and a lot of credit unions and such no longer do that. There's still a couple of them out there, but they're pretty hard to find.
You guys have discounts for FMCA members.
We do.
What does that cover?
We are the preferred mail forwarding company with FMCA. I'm a commercial member of FMCA. I've been a member of FMCA myself for quite a number of years. People that when they fill out the application, they can download it, right off of America's Mailbox /FMCA. We have a page dedicated to them, and they put down, that they're a member with FMCA, and put down their membership number. They have to, let us know that they're FMCA members. We'll do the vehicle registration form, the first one for free.
Oh, awesome.
So, every little bit helps. I mean, the profit margin on a mail forwarding company is extremely small. I mean, we're talking, when it's all said and done, 4 to 6 pennies a day. I mean, that's it. It's not much. So you have to be a very lean, very efficient corporation, and we are. I've got about 45 people on my payroll. This is not a small mom and pop operation. We do multiple shifts. We do scanning of mail, which is where we take a letter like from the Internal Revenue Service and Aunt Martha, for example. We'll scan the front exterior of those letters, and we'll put it on a secure web server for our customers, like the gentleman in Antarctica, and he'll see what letters he's got. And or the customers down in Mexico, for example. This, when somebody tells us that they're international, we always make that recommendation: do the scanning.
I've got some ways we could
send
that data for you that's decentralized.
Well, not only that, but we've also been granted permission by the state of South Dakota. We can do online notaries.
Oh, cool.
That is extremely important to expats and people living in other countries, because there are some forms like a power of attorney to register vehicles or whatever. Of course, they need to be notarized. To get a notary outside the United States, you must go either to a U.S. embassy or a U.S. consulate. You go down to Cabo, there ain't too many embassies or consulates down there. No.
I've been down there.
No, it's 1,000 miles or so to San Diego.
Yeah.
But we do it online. We've been granted permission by the state. And that's a rare thing, it's because we have a wonderful reputation and working relationship with the state of South Dakota. And I'm very, very happy with the state.
And so on the plate renewal, it's 6 months first, and then it's every year.
No.
How does that work?
No. The way that works, it's a variable. Your first set of license plates are going to be good anywhere from 4 months to 15 months.
Okay.
It's all based upon the first letter of your last name and where that falls on the calendar.
Oh, okay.
So say, for example, my last name starts with the letter H. That makes me the month of May. So if I were to buy license plates today, I would buy license plates that'd be good from this month and through May. And then from that point on, it would be every year on May.
Okay.
That's how it works. Which, by the way, vehicle registrations in South Dakota is really, really, quite reasonable. On my company vehicles here, I've got a Toyota Camry. That cost me $95 a year. Not very much.
So if I'm moving my vehicles from Texas to here, do I have to transfer the title? What's the title transfer process? So does it need to become a South Dakota title?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we need that title along with the power of attorney. It says we can do this.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a power of attorney that says we can sell your vehicle. And sometimes people ask us that. No, we're not interested in buying your vehicle or selling it. We need a power of attorney because we need that to take down to the county. See, that's who gives out license plates in South Dakota. It's not the DMV. The DMV in South Dakota only does driver's licenses, which, by the way, I think costs like $28, good for 5 years. And if you already got a driver's license from another state, they take your picture, they take your money, the form's done. Here's your new driver's license. They hand it to you, and you walk out the door. And typically, the entire process takes 20 minutes. But
Get mine renewed.
Oh, it's I just did mine the other day, in and out.
I only have a Mexican driver's license right now.
But we need the title. If you just bought the vehicle, we need a bill of sale. There's a couple of things that we need, and of course the power of attorney, which again we do that online for you.
Awesome. That sounds great. I think that's quite a bit of information. How can people find out what's your website and what are the contacts?
Oh, it's just so easy. I believe in the KISS method. Keep it simple. And to be politically correct, which I'm not.
Yeah.
Let's keep it simple, sweetheart.
Okay.
Oh, it's real easy. Simply go to America's Mailbox. It's a very easy name to remember because we are America's Mailbox. Not just North America, but Central and South America and so on. But all you have to do is go to americasmailbox.com. Click the Join Now button, and a little pop-up thing will come up on the screen, and it'll ask you some, basic, your name and phone number, email address, things like that. But the exciting news is that in a very short time, anybody that wants to join America's Mailbox will be able to do so completely online. We're doing beta testing on that right now. The entire process, they'll be able to sign up, get the number, everything right there online. My staff comes in, whoever's doing accounting for that day, because we had 3 different people doing it. They can look at it, make sure everything's okay, hit a button on the computer, it's done.
Wow.
It's extremely fast, and we've been working on this for a while. No other company has a process like this. We are very, very secure. We run the same encryption as DoD. I spend time in various law enforcement, so security is a major concern to me. Plus, we handle mail. I mean, we got more security here than most post offices do, to be honest with you. And we get checked every 90 days by an independent company to make sure all our systems are safe. Another thing is, and it's important, I own my own software. I built my software. I don't rely on third party, because third party is prone to problems.
Is it open source or?
Yeah, absolutely. No, ours is not open source. It's secure, and I own it, and nobody will ever have software. We have the most powerful software anywhere in the country. And it's designed to be, to run very easy, very efficiently. And to our front end, that's exactly what it is. But the back end, that's where the power is. Our customers can set up when they want their mail, how they want their mail, where they want it delivered, everything. They can set up send me the mail on the second Tuesday of every month, or the first and third Thursday of every month, for the next 50 years, or every week, or whatever they can think of. Let us know. We'll get it out to them, and it's a fully automated process. They fill out the form, hit the submit button. If they do it before by 11:59 p.m. On Monday, it'll go out Tuesday, and it's a very easy thing to do. And then when that's done, they'll get an email confirmation saying, at this moment in time, this is your shipment schedule. And then when the shipping label is printed, we'll send out another email saying, we sent your mail. Here's the information. If there's a tracking number involved, we put that in there. We can ship out not only Postal Service, but UPS and FedEx. Not DHL. DHL shut operations down here in Rapid City not too long ago. So I know it's important to a lot of people in Mexico.
Yeah.
DHL shut down the Rapid City operations. So I can't do that.
That's unfortunate. I guess the last question I would have would be, how do you guys weed out the junk mail?
Oh my goodness.
Or maybe I just don't want to receive mail from anybody but these certain people. Is there a way of doing that?
Yes, there is. It's very, very time consuming. However, this is what we do. We've got different plans. We've got what we call bronze, silver, gold, platinum, and titanium. And a couple seconds to describe each one of them. The bronze program is our least expensive because it's our least labor intensive. All of our plans is based on how much labor it takes involved. I mentioned earlier that we typically make between 4 to 6 pennies per day per account. Well, that applies no matter what plan it is. Okay, so our bronze, that's for people, all they want to do is register their vehicles. They have a limit of 7 pieces of mail per year, and that includes junk mail. We obviously have no control over how much junk mail comes in. So don't sign up for timeshares or anything like that. Then we have our silver and gold programs. Our silver and gold programs, they're the same in the sense that whatever mail comes in, we'll accept it, we'll store it for you, we'll put it in your box, and we'll send out your mail to you as often as you wish, anywhere you tell us, and so on. The difference comes in on the silver plan is when we send out your mail, we're going to send out all your mail, every piece of it, junk mail and all. And you're going to be paying postage it takes to get the junk mail. The gold program, that's the plan. that when my staff will sort out the known junk mail, within the legal limitations of the law. Congress has very, I don't know, I don't wisely, tongue in cheek, excuse themselves from that law. So if we get political mail, we have to forward that along. That's not considered junk mail. Charity, that kind of thing. That, of course, we have to pass that on. But if it's sent third class, for example, or that if the customer has a gold program, we can toss that, and we recycle wherever we can. The other plan is our titanium. That's our scanning program. And by the way, with the exception of the bronze, because the bronze involves just license plates, if the people don't want to get license plates, they can still use us just for their mail. But they can, if they want, like people go on vacation, so we can open up part-year programs. They can have a program for a 3-month minimum. So they do 3, 6, 9, and so on. So if they just want to go down to Cabo or Virgin Islands or whatever, because we got a lot of people that are boaters, we can do it for 3 months. So it's part-time, or full-time. If they got license plates or driver license, then yeah, it's going to be for the full year.
All right. Thanks very much. I think we covered everything there, and I really appreciate your time.
Well, you're very welcome. If somebody has any questions, just you can send an email to the company. It's just info at americasmailbox.com. Our phone number 605-718-1234. Feel free to give us a call. The office is open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. We're in Mountain Time Zone, so if you're on the East Coast or further east, and it might be 9 o'clock in the morning for you, but
yeah,
yeah, exactly.
All right. Thank you very much.
My pleasure.